Hello everyone, welcome to the Green Man channel. Hope you're all doing good and well. So it's time for my first album review of 2023. And for my first review, I'm tackling the Howling Void's Into Darkness Evermore Profound, which was released last week on the 6th of January via Funia label. This is a funeral doom metal one-man project from San Antonio, Texas. And this particular album is 4 tracks, it's 44 minutes in length. As you know, you generally get with funeral doom metal albums, the tracks are pretty long. So first thing to say actually is that I really like the artwork in the style of kind of an oil painting or something. I think it's really, certainly suits the music on this album as well. And I think it's just an album which is exploring the death, the concept of death and all the mysteries associated with death. That's what I got from the Bandcamp page anyway, talking about this artist and what this album is kind of all about. So it being a funeral doom metal album, I have to say you go into it kind of knowing more or less what to expect. There's going to be quite long, quite sprawling tracks, but a lot of atmosphere. And in this particular artist makes pretty good use, I think, of synths, and you get some pretty good build-ups of atmosphere with the use of synths, and then sort of layering of guitars and lead guitar work as well to go along with that. And on the whole, I think it's a pretty decent album. And a pretty good one for me to just sort of kick off my year, as dark and despairing as you can really kick off your year with music, I guess. So the album kicks off with a track called Into Darkness Evermore Profound. I enjoyed most of this track for the most part. I thought it did enough to keep me interested, but towards the end I felt like there weren't quite there weren't enough enhancements to the track for me to make it. With Funeral Doom, I feel like you've got to have some quite powerful changes to make it work. And I felt just towards the end of this track, just lost those powerful changes a little bit for me. It just got a little repetitive. I know that's somewhat the nature of the genre, but it just got a bit too repetitive for my liking towards the end of this opening track, the title track of the album. There were some real highlights though in this album, as I thought, most of the first track was pretty good, but the third track, Deeper Darker Waters, is definitely one to check out. I mean, this was a 14-minute track, and this did, I think, this did a good job of keeping my attention pretty much the whole way through this one. Parts of it actually reminded me of Akira Yamaoka's Silent Hill 2 game and the music he did for that, or rather Akira Yamaoka's music for the Silent Hill 2 game, and really brought me back, made me feel a bit nostalgic actually whilst listening to one of the themes, which I thought sounded pretty similar to some of that music, but nevertheless a good longer song on this album. And the closing track was another one I enjoyed. I thought was pretty good. The End of Endings. I liked the way that, I really liked the synth theme in this track, I think, and the use of the lead guitar moments in this last one was also pretty good and pretty interesting. So, I think, this was, like I say, I think it was pretty decent overall. If you're not so inclined to Funeral Doom, I'm not sure you'd really enjoy it all that much. Maybe that's just, but that's the case with a lot of, I guess, metal genres. You either like them or maybe you don't like them so much. And particularly in the case, I think Funeral Doom is a very particular style you have to be quite patient with. A little bit like, it's kind of the opposite of technical death metal, which is really fast. But in common, I think, with technical death metal is both you have to give some time to really digest, both take time to grow on you, because there's usually, there's that amount of patience required. So, but yeah, I thought this was a good album. I'm going to give this as my final score. I'm going to give a 7 out of 10. Thought it was solid as a funeral doom album. I thought it was solid enough for me. So do let me know if you've checked out this album, what you thought of this one. Let me know any other albums that you've listened to kick off the year. I'm looking for more to listen to. I haven't listened to a huge number of albums yet because I've been listening to so much Dream Theater for my Dream Theater ranking coming up on Saturday. So that's taken up quite a lot of my time because Dream Theater albums are enormous. So yeah, but I'm looking forward to doing that, of course, at the coming weekend. So anyway, from me, hope you all have great evenings. Otherwise, take care everybody, and bye for now.